Hey everybody, it's me, Kiki. What is up? Today I got a video for you guys. Like, share, subscribe, save. To everybody out there, if you don't know me, my name is Kiki. The name of the channel is the infamous Kiki. Yes, how did I change my name? It was Kiki Holistic. Now I'm the infamous Kiki. I'm the infamous Kiki because someone gave me that name. They're like, it's the infamous Kiki. If you guys are on Teflon TV, please uh, subscribe to his channel because his After Dark live stream is where I think he's kind of doing an After Dark live stream. I don't know. He said he quit, but who knows? But if you go to look in the search Teflon TV on YouTube, then you'll see a community of wonderful sci-fi nerds, aficionados, enthusiastic. Especially if you're a blurred black nerd, then go there. I'd also like to give a big shout out to Go Black to Africa. If you don't know who Go Black to Africa is, he is another YouTuber that is from the United States that lives and travels in the motherland. And he gave me some really good encouragement yesterday. So I got a few more subscribers because of his channel. And he took the time out during his live stream to talk about YouTube. And I commented how hard it was to be a YouTuber. But I gave a lot of energy to it. And I just felt like I wasn't gaining momentum, but now I'm gonna get back on the horse and try to do videos at least every other day. Yeah, so Go Black to Africa. That's my brother. He's. Thank you very much, and thank you to all the people who came from his channel and subscribed to me or checked out my channel and tried to give me some suggestions. Just like the title of this video, there's another community that I belong to. I fell into by accident. It's the ex-Jehovah's Witness community. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, so that's what we're gonna discuss. This is probably gonna have to be in 3 parts because it's a long story. So definitely this is part 1. If y'all see me over here wiping my brow, and if I look a little moist, a little moist. I hate that word, moist. Ew. It's because my AC is off in my house. Like something happened to my AC and it's not blowing cold air. And all I have on right now is my ceiling fan. If I turn on my fan, you guys probably won't be able to hear me. So that's why I'm sweating through it for you guys. And I'll probably record several videos today. But I'll try to do more, especially come Monday when my AC is back on, everybody. So be patient with me. So thank you, like I said again, to all my subscribers. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Definitely comment below if you're ex-JW or just anybody who's just curious or you're watching this video. I like to say hi to some of my friends. I like to say hi. I like to say hi to my sweetie, who I know probably is going to watch this video. It's not going to be very long. So my name's Kiki. I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. Now, I've been consumed lately within the past 6 months with ex-JW channels such as Lloyd Evans, Jexit, ex-JW, apostate things. There's going to be some key words I haven't explained to you guys. The word apostate to Jehovah's Witnesses means anything that is against Jehovah's Witnesses or anti-witness or people who used to be witnesses that have came out and spoken out against them. I consider myself, I am not an apostate. I am not trying to slander Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. That is not my goal. My goal is just to explain my experiences. Some of you who hate the Watchtower, or been through the same experiences that I have may completely understand. I'm different. I feel like my story is different. I was not born into Jehovah's Witness. A lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses here on YouTube, a lot of them were born into it, or their parents came into it at a young age. I did not have parents. I do not have family that are witnesses. I never had parents that studied. The only thing I knew about Jehovah's Witnesses were like TV shows where people would be like, don't answer the door, it's Jehovah's Witnesses. And then I was like, what's a Jehovah's Witness? And then all my grandmother told me, I was raised by my grandma, was that they were some annoying religious fanatics. And I never knew anything other than that. So my story begins. I'm 13 years old. I come from Michigan with my grandmother. We moved here to Texas because my aunt got married and moved here, and we lived in the hood. And as somebody else have listened to my other stories about me being raised in the inner city and me being raised in the hood, and my grandmother wanted a different and better life for me. So we moved to Plano, Texas. Plano, Texas is a small, well-to-do suburb in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And of course, I moved down here right as school was starting. I'm very shy. I know some of you just have a really hard time understanding my shyness. I like being in front of the camera. I don't have a problem being in front of people, but socialization is where I'm not good at. I'm not good at socialization. I'm not good at relating to people and doing small talk. I get real shy and quiet, and I don't like being around crowds. I'm very self-conscious about myself. And what people think sometimes. And I don't do well at parties. So here comes my kids. Oh no. So in my life, I was very lonely. I didn't really have any friends or anything. We live in an apartment complex. I went to a laundromat, and they would leave watchtowers and awakes in a laundromat. So I'm still a big reader and into religion and history and everything. And I don't know what Wake or Watchtower was, but it definitely caught my attention. So I took the magazines home, read them, and then I came back again 2 weeks later, and there were more Watchtower and Awakes, and I'm like, yeah, yippee. So I it was like, whoever's leaving these magazines is thebomb.com, and I'm like, they're free, So I was reading them. So I started reading them. And then I noticed on the back of it, it had an address. And it was like, if you would like to subscribe, I think that's what it said, or get more information, or send a donation. So I sent a donation in. And I wrote to the address and sent the donation in, thanking whoever's I don't know who was leaving the magazines, but I was like, whoever's leaving these magazines, I feel like I should pay a little bit something out of my allowance. So here I was, 13 years old. And I sent money to Watchtower, and with a little note saying, thank you for the magazines, and with my address, and I would like to subscribe, and I'd like to have, and then I found out that they had books and other things that were advertised in the Watchtower. It's not really advertised, but just they would talk about other books, and I'm like, what other books? I would like to have these other books. Like I said, this is a long time ago. Let me say, this is in the 90s. This was before jw.org. This is before databases. This is before all of that. It's before the internet even. I'm old. I'm an old head, so, it's before the internet. So I wrote, and then I was still getting the magazines on the laundromat. Then probably about a month later, there was a knock at my door. My grandmother answered the door. She's like, yeah. And they were like, can we speak to? He said my real name. And I was like, yeah, me. And then my grandmother was like, there's these two white ladies at the door, and what's going on? And as she talked, she's like, it's my granddaughter. What do you want? So at first my grandmother was thinking I got in trouble. She was thinking, what'd you do? Oh my God. I had to explain to her, no, I'm not, I don't think I'm in trouble. I hadn't done anything. I'm good in school. I never got any trouble at school. These ladies were like, no, she's not in trouble. We're not from the school. And they explained to her that, no, she wrote in saying that she wanted more information about these magazines. My grandmother turns to me and be like, what? You did what? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I did. And then they brought me a New World Translation of the Scriptures, the Bible. I was like, yay. They brought me a book, some more Watchtowers and Awakes. They brought me the Young People book. Can you close my door? Okay. Tell my son to close my door. And I was like, yay, okay. So they were like, well, we would like to come back and talk to you more about the Bible and God and everything. And I was like, yeah, sure, you can come back. And I told them, come back on the weekend or whatever. I'm in school. I'm sure they were probably thinking who wrote them was probably a grown woman, and I expected to see a 13-year-old. So my grandmother was like, those Jehovah's Witnesses oh my God, what have you done? Da, 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 da. You'll never get rid of them. Da, da, da. I was like, what's the big deal? I was like, well, you know, my grandmother knew that I'm into history. I'm into um, reading a lot. And then for a grandparent or a parent, who's going to get mad if their kid wants to study the Bible? You know, I'm 13 years old. I'm getting to the point where I'm hitting adolescence and I should be getting in trouble and all this other stuff. But no, I want to read the Bible. So my grandmother was like, okay, you want to read the Bible. Maybe it'll teach you something. It can't be a bad thing. And I had to say, I grew up Pentecostal. Like, my grandmother took me to church when I was little, Church in God in Christ when I was little, but it wasn't something that we went to. We didn't really attend church. I didn't attend church. And so, you know, I knew about God and about Jesus. Like I said, I had a keen interest in history and religion, and I've read the Bible. But, you know, I felt like when I first read The Watchtowers and Awakes, that I had never read anything like that before. I think I had run into Mormons before, maybe once or twice. I didn't like their message in the Book of Mormon and everything. I knew I had an interest in the Bible. So I let the ladies come back. And so the ladies came back next week, the following weekend, and they were, and one of the sisters, we call, in Jehovah's Witness religion, they call the fellow members brothers and sisters. So the sister that came along, I wish I remembered her name, but she was young. She was probably like 19, 20. She was young. She was, she was pretty young. She came back with an older sister. She was probably like in her 40s. And they came back and talked to me again. And they came back, talked to me a few times. And then eventually they were like offered, like, hey, would you like to study the Bible? And I said, it's free, right? Well, sure, I would like to study the Bible. And I said, I really like what I read. I know a lot about the Bible already. So this is just going to expand my knowledge of the Bible. So they were like, okay, we'll start studying the Bible. So that's how I started studying with the witnesses. And this is just part one. Like I said, it's just a origin story, I guess. And it you know, I'll get into more things later on, but this is just part one of how I came in contact with the witnesses. Like I said, I wasn't born into it. I wasn't raised into it. I did not know anything about witnesses. I was one of those rare people who started studying as an early teen. I think like I said, I was 13 or just turning 13 or 12. We had just moved down here. So, but yeah, this is part one. So stay tuned or click here, click somewhere. I don't know. We're going to put some boxes up this time. I'm really edit my videos this time. And stay tuned for part two. All right, y'all. Bye.